officially start the old recording. Hello, welcome everybody back to the Mighty Dungeons D&D game, Eberron. We're now at episode number 4, and a bunch of cool stuff has happened. If you want to go back and watch the VODs to catch up, by all means. If not, we're playing today. Let's go around the horn and introduce all the players. Everybody that we need to introduce here. Bring the volume of the music down. We have our pride and joy. We're not sure if he has an artificial prostate or not, but we have the Warforged in the group, Mr. Franco. Say hello.
Hello, good night, everybody.
Gozera is muted.
I'm here, though. I'm here. I was just muting.
He's unmuted.
Purposes. So that way, yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Gozera. Hi. I do have a prostate. I hope.
It is not artificial.
Haven't checked in a while. Jordan, what about you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jordan with Final PH, and I got a treasure, so I have a prostate +1.
No! A magical prostate? Holy shit!
Yeah. 1d6 force damage? I don't know.
Force damage?
Can you imagine the monster stat block that says immune to damage not done by magical prostates. And then we have good friend Katie Wolf.
Hey guys, I got my prostate on Craigslist last week. $300. It was a steal.
Steal.
I hate and love this new intro theme that we have going on. Let's just get prostate updates every week instead of talking about shouting out your stuff. Marstone, Mr. Falcon.
Hi.
Hello. Is there
That's
anything
all.
else you'd like to say about,
No.
you know?
I'm not talking about my
Prostates.
prostate today.
Okay,
He did
that's
it!
wonderful.
He did it!
He said
So-
the thing!
So, let us recap what happened last time and then scoot right into today's episode. The last time our heroes played this wonderful game, their characters returned from the depths of a portal leading to an unknown world. As they returned, they realized that 3 days had passed in the real world. They returned back to Arithon Keep to check in with Chinara and the rest of the 1,000-yard stare. The group assigned here by quite a few of the nations of Khorvaire to watch the border of the Mournlands to make sure nothing bad happens, and to relay that information back to the countries. Well, after our party got some rest that evening, the very next day, something bad happened. As a gigantic form of a face and a mouth opened up in the wall of mist surrounding the Mournlands, which had indeed pushed its way further towards the keep over the 3-day span. And out of its erupting mouth of mist and smoke came these green gaseous forms of energy. And as this gas flew and swam through the air towards the keep, like these homing missiles trained on living beings, an enormous fight broke out in the keep versus these gaseous forms. And 12 of the 20 soldiers that just started their very first day at the keep have lost their lives. After a miraculous fight in which the heroes banded together to dissipate and destroy these energy forms coming from the mist wall, blasting them from the armaments, blasting them from the walls, blasting them from below, trying to defend and help in this utter chaos happening, in this war zone against a gas cloud as large as an entire country. In the midst of it all, Jam ran out into the square with a contraption a device hooked up to what looked to be an Eberron dragon shard and handed it to Chinara. Chinara then took this device and ran. Not a lot of people saw where she went, but the sounds of explosions and crackling energy coming from within the Mournland's wall told a different story. The wall, after an electrical storm, just absolutely darted up and down the wall. The mist began to recede, and the face breathed back in any leftover discharged energy that was floating around the keep. And about 100 meters of inland in the Mournlands, the mist receded, revealing a grayed out, chalky, charred earth. As everything began to be calm, the remaining soldiers looked around to gather what exactly had happened. And as things become more still, the sound of more crackling and thundering comes from above. This time, real thunder, as rain begins to fall. And this is where we will pick up today's episode and session of the Mighty Dungeon. Which is exactly what we will be doing. Not actually sure if people can hear this or not. Is the intro rolling on the screen?
Yeah, it's
guys?
rolling.
Okay.
They can hear
Okay.
you.
I can't hear it.
There's no audio on the intro.
That's the question I was asking.
Yeah.
New Session 0 available to all patrons right now. Franco is, maybe has a name this session. Gabriel shoots laser beams out of his hands. This goblin has a bug thing. Goodberry boy. And a grumpy old soldier man makes up, and me, Mighty Dungeon Eberron, and the rain begins to fall. Ooh.
Oh, special effects. So good.
It's far away now.
I pull up the hood tucked underneath the fur draped over my shoulders to kind of shield myself a little bit from the rain.
You can hear the slight clink, 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 clink as the rain hits my body.
There's a voice that you heard during the battle from around the corner. As one of the soldiers, dressed in the House Madani light leather armor, you may have remember this soldier being a little bit more strategic during the battle, a little bit better head on his shoulders. The one that had dodged out of the way of two of the gas clouds and darted down alleyways to try to avoid it. Comes bolting back around the corner as the rain begins to fall, and takes off his leather helmet, revealing a brown-haired, scruffy, half-elven man with light features but a full beard, who comes running around the corner and just says, "I need a situation report. Where is everybody? Round up towards the gate!" And you see some soldiers coming over towards the gate here. The half-elven man kind of looking around. You hear him look up towards the wall. And just yells back up. Rith! What do you see up there? And you actually just see some like hand movements from up on the wall, and it's hard to make out exactly what he says back. And then he starts making his way towards the gate.
Gabriel's gonna kind of be leaning against the wall. He's gonna put his left chest over top of his symbol, whisper some, incantations, and cure wounds myself.
Okay.
Wow, where do they go?
We go up to the wall where Marstone and Zyxx are at the moment.
Where did who go?
Didn't they? I mean, they all left.
The other members of the group were those horrible cloud creatures.
Well, I mean, I'm more concerned about the horrible cloud creatures.
As am I.
But
We nearly lost our lives.
Took off as well.
I believe the rest made a retreat towards the gate. We may meet with them there.
And you hear like an echo from down low.
Zyxx!
Sorry. It's the old ball and chain. Yeah, Darrow!
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm up. You gotta tilt your neck 45 degrees, like up.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good, thank you.
He's so far away and up the wall. He's your buddy, so you know his voice. But really all you're hearing is like...
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I'm like, I'm talking to you from beyond the grave.
Oh my god, he's dead!
Oh, no, I'm a spooky ghost.
He's dead.
I'm just messing with you. It's me.
I'm going to come down off the battlements.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose we all join back as a team.
I'm gonna
Here's all
look
six.
around to my other companions. Does anyone else look injured?
I look shiny,
I'm
but
wet.
that's it.
I'm good.
It's pretty rainy.
Okay. Well then, seeing everyone is kind of looking good. I'm gonna make my way over to the main guard who was shouting orders.
Yeah. The rest of the guards do seem to be a little bit more responsive to this one member. You're not really sure why yet.
Have you seen Shannara?
You're asking the guard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chinara, still trying to figure that out. James, Rith, have you seen her? And, they both shake their head. And, he turns back to them and says, Rith, go do border control. Go see. Go do a reconnaissance. And one of the guards nods and just runs. You can still see the guards all kind of have this jittery adrenaline catching up with them look, where their hands and arms, everything's still kind of shaking a little bit. They're all trying to keep their cool. Nobody's freaking out, but there is a very noticeable uneasiness with a lot of these guards, aside from the one that has slightly nicer studded leather armor on. And the beard. One of the guards takes off, starts going around. And then that guard in particular turns to you and says, I apologize. See if we can't get everything back into place before we make any more actions or assumptions. I must thank you all for what you've done here at the keep. Did not go unnoticed. Especially you. And he looks over at Gabriel in particular.
Gabriel just
My
nods.
name's... I'm Clay. And... I don't know what Chinara is, but... I fear I'm the only one here that these other soldiers might have any semblance of respect for, so... I'm gonna take a few moments to address them. You're welcome to stay. Or leave. It's up to you. It's been... obviously a rough day.
How long until more reinforcements come?
These are... It's hard to say. Usually they come every month. But this is a circumstance that is a bit more dire. The first step is to find where Chinara has gone. And if she is no longer on the premises, we will need to contact the house back in Rote. Hopefully they'll understand. I appreciate your patience. I'm going to do a tally. Puts his leather head armor back on, and he looks also like he is a little shaken, but he's got that similar to Marstone. He looks a little bit more like a veteran, like maybe he's been here for longer. And he just starts going around and putting his arms on the other soldiers' shoulders and like putting his head in close to their heads and whispering words to them of encouragement and going around, and then he leaves out the front gate. These other two guards kind of go and lean up against the wall of one of the buildings as he leaves out the front.
I'm gonna get closer to the rest of the group.
Yeah, sure thing.
What was this person doing with his head on the head of the other soldiers?
What do you mean?
He was touching their shoulders and then bumping heads.
I'm sure it's just...
Oh, a headbutt. It's like camaraderie.
What is that?
It's like friendship. Here, and I stick my hand out to like shake his hand. You shake hands. It's like what friends do.
He just doesn't even extend his hand, doesn't understand.
Shake my hand.
Okay. And he like extends and presses.
Oh God! Let go of my hand! Not that hard.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
soft. It's what friends do. Companions. I'm not even gonna try to headbutt you.
Yes, bad idea. Do we have a plan?
I don't know.
Probably best to locate Chinara. find out what happened to her.
Yeah, I'm curious what happened.
Me too.
Oh, did you come down,
Shannara
Zyxx?
was carrying a device, the device that Jam gave her not long ago. She
Device?
asked me to carry it to the other side of the wall, and I refused.
You refused?
Yes, I have told you I am not going back, and none of you should try to cross the wall.
I mean, it makes sense. You're the only one that's been over there.
And perhaps
Yeah.
brought something back. I am over where his mist comes out.
He just stares.
I don't think there's any need for suspicion. He's been a valuable asset so far.
So we could probably find Jam and ask him if he is available of doing more of those, making more of those, and we could push the wall back, maybe.
Maybe. I think information on the device that Shannara took would be good, so perhaps a conversation with Jam is not a bad idea. But at some point I'd like to cross the river and examine the grounds.
This is a question for Jordan. The machine that Shannara took, is that the big, like it was a large machine or is it small? I forget.
No,
Like a bomb,
no.
like a little bomb.
It was like the size of like a trophy.
Okay, so that
a
one
big old
background
shard
you
in
had that
it.
had like the big, I don't know, it was like a spherical thing.
Yeah, that's on the tower still.
Okay.
What Trinara took was the thing that Jam gave her while she was posting the gun in the middle of the well, and we were fighting. And then Jam came down and gave her something, and she yelled, "What do you mean it has to go in?" And then we
Okay.
kind of find out. I think you were very far away from that in exchange. So
I think I was, yeah.
Mhm. Are we going to find her, or what is the plan? We should talk
we go
to
find
Jam.
Jam, right?
I'd like to know what kind of device Jam had. Know what kind of deal.
I'm gonna start walking to the tower.
Do you think Jam can like equip all of us? Because I want a cool device. I'm not gonna lie.
You can ask him when we get there. Let's follow the very motivated
I'm
Warforged.
way ahead of you. Phew.
He's like zipping between everybody.
I stand in place for a second as I watch all of them kind of rush off, and then I like pop the moisture off my cloak real quick, pull out my pipe again, pack and light it, and then follow them.
I mimic him. I like pop my cloak too, and then I pull out an imaginary pipe. I kind of mock him a little bit. Just kidding though.
Okay, you guys all approach the double doors of the main tower. In the
Are
corner
they
of the
open? I'm gonna try.
fort. You go to open the double doors, and they indeed open.
Okay, I'm just gonna go in. I'm not knocking.
Okay. So, let us go over to that. So, wrong one. There we go. We'll swap over to. It's not raining inside, therefore. In here, you see a familiar figure, now dressed in a deep purple coat and suit with a tie. Very colorful attire for someone with not so colorful of a personality. And he appears to be running from box to box, parts to parts, throwing, dropping stuff. He appears to be packing. Not in a hurry. Calm. But with purpose. He's certainly not doing it leisurely.
Jam, what seems to be the hurry? Where are you headed?
So Jam immediately kind of like drops what he already has in his arms and turns very slowly to you. Job's done.
The job's done.
Nods.
What was the job exactly? If you don't mind my asking. I don't mean to pry, of course.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh. 9.
His small, beady eyes at the top of his large hippo-like head squint a little bit at you. And, just says, "Not at liberty to say." And then he continues to throw shit into a big box and then move it over to the table. Tools, little tiny things, made of metal, electrical stuff, things still kind of coursing, like concerning things as well, like little vials that appear to be full of some sort of energy coursing through it, and he's just kind of like tossing them into the box.
Do you mind if we maybe ask a few questions while you collect your things?
If it doesn't slow me down.
Only if you need to use your hands to answer them.
He just continues packing.
The device that you gave to Chinara. What was it?
Even I don't fully know. It was an experiment.
One of yours?
Mm-hmm.
Then it must have...
Marstone, did you happen to see it during the battle?
Briefly.
Briefly?
Yep.
You were the only one that went behind the large egg-like device while he was working on something.
Mm-hmm.
It was the very thing that was back there in a compartment.
Oh.
But, every prototype has a cost. And he taps his hand on top of the large egg.
Uh-huh.
Says, "This doesn't work anymore."
Obviously. No longer functional.
Everyone just keeps packing. He's still listening to you. You see, it's like a dog, like how their ears twitch.
Yeah, they're like
when you
turned
talk,
back.
they like move and turn to you, even though he looks occupied.
What resources do you need to make more bombs to kill the wall?
That's a very basic way of explaining it. But to tell you the truth, I need to analyze the device I just made.
The one that is no longer here.
Yeah, but it seems to be working, so probably best to just leave it alone. I just made that today, so it was kind of risky to use it at all, but...
You didn't take detailed notes or anything like that?
He turns and he just takes his finger and he taps his temple like that meme.
I see. And I kind of produce a journal from my pocket and I say, better to reproduce. You should consider keeping one yourself.
Yeah, I might make another one. If they ask me to, once I get back.
What if we asked you to?
How much is it paying?
I slowly kind of look back at the rest of the party and kind of give like a shrug.
Wait, who's they? I thought you were working for Shannara. Who you working for?
My job was to work for Shannara.
Okay, so you're outsourced. I mean, we've all been there, but like, so.
Job's done. Now I'm supposed to head back to Argon.
Okay.
Job's done, huh?
Just continuing to pack with his ears twitching.
Hey, Jam. I like your
This is
new
Tom.
threads.
He turns. What's that supposed to mean?
Your new suit, man. I like it.
They told me it's business casual.
Is that the suit you wear when you abandon your responsibilities?
Warforged, calm down.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Your questions don't make sense to me,
It's okay.
but you are not slowing my progress, so you may remain. I suppose.
Do you not
He keeps,
care
like-
about what's happening right across the river?
Nope. Just throwing stuff into boxes here. Just like throw a bunch of stuff. Just giraffing it.
I don't know that we're going to get much more out of him unless we ask some of the right questions.
I don't think we'll get anything out of him. Period.
He seems free to share the information, but nothing we're asking is leading down a useful path.
He takes one box and then looks at it carefully. And then you see him just kind of like put it on the ground and then kick it and shove it underneath the table. It appears to be full of weapon-like experiments. A pile of 5 or 6 of them with parts kind of hanging off of them. Lots of spare, like, trigger-looking devices, as well as, like, other compartments and energy resources. And then he goes back behind the egg. Starts taking stuff. You see him, he's, like, using tools to take stuff out and off of the egg as well.
I'm gonna
Is
go
there
behind
any
the egg
way
with him.
in which you can force him to answer questions?
Not force him, no. He's much larger than I am.
We are many more.
Well, even then, I mean, we don't know if he's lying.
It's also not quite the way we want to handle things.
I agree.
I mean, I could put a bug in his ear.
He's right here. He's listening to everything you're saying.
You see him, like, behind the machine. You see his one ear, and it's, like, twitching every time you guys are talking.
Yeah, that's the one, the left one.
If we could retrieve the device, or locate it even, could you reproduce it?
Are you talking to me?
I said,
He
Jam.
pokes
did I
his
not?
head. Oh, yeah. That is my name. I can already reproduce it. I know how to make it. I've already made it once. But I don't have the tools or supplies to do it again on such short notice. And
Well,
also,
what do you need?
well, I need a better reason to do it than just to do it. My job's over. I'm headed back to the ship.
I'm going to walk out of the double doors.
Okay.
Is killing the wall not a better reason than it just being your job?
It's not dead.
It is better than before. It is further away.
For now. I don't actually know how long it'll last.
It is not permanent, but it has a duration then. Can you make more if we bring you what you need?
I could, but I don't have a reason to.
Where are you going, Jim?
I'm headed back to Argonth. Gabriel, do you know what Argonth is? Do you want to roll a history check?
Yeah, I'll roll a history check to.
Okay, sure.
Oh my god, 5.
A 5?
I'm
You've
very
heard
upset
it.
with this guy. Anyway,
You've
so.
heard it. Yeah, it's definitely Argonth. The only thing you remember is it's definitely something Brelish. Like it's 100% a Brelish name. Something to do with Breland in some way. But you're not sure whether it's a town, city, place, location. Like, you're not sure.
Gabriel is just going to turn and walk outside as well.
Okay. Zyxx, Warforged, and Darrow are still in here.
Yeah, I'm here. Darrow, I'm gonna regret this, but what do you think?
Well, I like Stretch.
Oops.
Just nice to get a little recognition for once. No, I think that we're not going to get any more information out of this elephant. I think we're better off looking elsewhere, to be honest. Unless we got coin, he's not going to do anything unless we pay him. We can't beat him up. He's huge.
He comes around the front with another box of like junk and comes over to you three and just says, "We're all not heroes." And then he turns to the right and puts the box down on the table, starts organizing it.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Jam?
He turns slowly, says, "Is that not what you are?"
A hero?
Uh-huh.
I mean, if that's how you see it.
It was a question for you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a hero.
We all can't be heroes.
I'm picking up where you're laying down, Jam. Why don't you get on out of here, big buddy?
Still much to pack.
Oh.
Turns around and there's just still junk everywhere. It's like packing last day before you're moving sort of nonsense.
Don't forget that spring. I'm sure that's really important.
You're right. He goes to a random spring, runs over quickly, bends over, gets a random spring, looks at it closely, and then puts it in the box.
I just turned to everybody. I'm like, he does not care about this wall. He doesn't care about anything. He just wants to get out of here. I don't know if we're going to get anything else out of this dude. Unless we beat it out of him. And I look at the Warforge.
I'm going to see if he hurt.
Oh, no. Is that roll for initiative?
For those in the stream, the Warforged
Terminate.
Okay.
nodding intently. And actually,
His ears
take a step
twitch.
forward.
Okay.
I'll take out a gold piece and put it on a table, and I'm like, "You forgot this spring." And I'll like slide it forward.
He's trying to push it.
And there's more springs where that came from. If you tell me the information I need to know.
He looks down at the gold piece. Why don't you make a persuasion check?
Yeah.
We all took not charisma.
I looked the other day. Every single character has -2 charisma except for Gabriel.
We're like the
19.
worst.
Oh!
That's awesome. Natural.
Nice.
Looks down at the gold piece, and with one huge finger, kind of slides it into his big hand, closes it, and just says, puts down the spring, the real spring, and says, now that the wall is a little bit more safe, I got a little bit of time. What do you want to know?
Yeah, so you make kind of interesting contraptions. What did you give to Shannara?
That was my greatest creation so far.
Oh, quiet. Your son's in the room. He'll hear that and feel real sad. Anyway, that was a joke. Okay, continue.
I do not have a son, but very well. I am indeed a weapons craftsman, artificer by trade, but mostly am just commissioned by the Brellish government.
So, what is your greatest creation then? What did that do, and why did she run away with it? And I'll slide another gold piece over just to keep the deal.
Sure. Wait, is this Hungry Hippos? Oh, it's flashbacks of arcades. All right, never mind. Yeah, he takes the coin again. No persuasion check needed again for this one. You've already gotten in to his head a little bit, and he just says, "That was a energy rifle I made about 10 months ago. Finished. Only took 5 tries, but that was my prized possession. The Force Maker. And I assume she went to place the device herself. To me, the logic does not stand. She could have commanded anyone to take it in. But, that being said, that factor indicates that my job is now done.
I mean, yeah. If the person you're working for isn't here, that kind of sounds like a done job to me. I agree with you.
I will just make something else.
What are you planning on making next? Is it all stuff commissioned, or what? You seem like an artist to me. Like you're just creating really interesting stuff. Kind of trans-dimensional things are you working on?
Well, I have lots of failed projects that might lead me to my next big thing. Thank you for seeing my vision, by the way.
I am a visionary goblin.
I believe you. But...
Oh, sorry. And I'll slide in yet another gold piece over.
I'm so glad you knew where I was going with that.
Why?
He takes.
One more. Just one more. If you don't
Yeah,
mind.
but he takes. Yeah, he takes that, and he digs into the box that's next to you, and he starts picking up a couple of these weapon-like devices, and he says, "This is version 2.6, I believe. This is called the Revolution." And you see it's a really prototypey, non-finished. It's very like all the metals on it are kind of weathering away and look like they've been cut to to fit size a bunch of times, and there's scratches and dents all over it. But it's basically, imagine if a revolver had like a skeleton inside of it, and then there were little tubes and wires running alongside of it like a computer does. It looks kind of like that. And then he just throws it back into the box without care for it at all. Just throws it back in, and then picks up another, like, kind of medium size, and definitely not a rifle like Channara had, but a gun that maybe you'd carry with two hands to steady it. And this one has like a huge tank centered around the top of it, not unlike sort of like a paintball gun's hopper. And this one as well has tons of these little wires that are melded into the metal and look like the tank almost looks like it has like a head scratcher melded onto it, and then they wire in to the trigger and to this long barrel at the front of it. And there are a couple little gems in it too that look like they're dulled out and grayed out. But he picks this one up and says, "This one is just my first try at what I call the airbender. But this is all junk." And he throws it back into the box.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't necessarily think that it's junk. If you need to repurpose that, I could take it off your hands. But I was also gonna ask if how do we contact you in the future if I am in need of your inspiration?
He goes over to a lockbox that's also on his working station, and he opens it up and takes out a very small piece of paper, brings it over to you, and he hands you a card.
Nice. Yeah,
And
Darrow,
the
can
card-
you read? So...
The card, yeah, has a bunch of like writing, and it's very elegant. And all the writing is done in like a raised gold ink. And there's sort of a blueprint of what appears to be some sort of artificing project as the background of the card. And on the very front, it says, Artificer Jamtholomew, Artificer for hire on the front. He goes, "You can call me Jam."
Thank you, Jam.
Jam, before we leave, and I reach in my coat and like spin or flick a gold coin up in the air, and I kind of hand it over to him.
He goes, "I like you guys."
Let me ask you something, Jam. If you knew a Warforged that didn't have a name, what would you name him?
I like super perk up. I'm just like, oh, this is good.
He looks at you, and without really missing a beat or thinking about it, he just says, "Well, when I name things, I usually use the serial number, and then whatever letters are a part of the serial number, usually do like use it as like an acronym for something. So that's probably what I would start with."
Where would you find a serial number on a Warforged?
Well, usually it's up on the face. And he goes over to... You're still there, right, Franco?
Yes.
Okay. He goes up to the Warforged you're with, and so he says, "For example, this one on the face." And he kind of gives a little ding poke on the forehead of you, Franco. He says, "When this one came out, it was very unusual. Usually there's a signature of who created it. It's like a signifier. But this one is just of the house. Which means this Warforged is probably very specialized. And then he goes around to the back of you, Franco, and starts putting his hands on your back. What do you do?
I'm just gonna turn around very creepily and look at him while he does stuff.
He stops and looks up at Zyxx and Darrow and says, I was gonna... It's usually on the back.
Is this like a prostate exam or something? I don't
know what that is. but
Yeah,
Can you
I don't want
teach
to know,
me?
buddy.
no, I can't. Boy, because the guy who taught me, he's not around anymore. Never mind.
Well, I'm always curious about new exams. I'm very good at them.
Legit though, I think Zyxx can read. I think I was just being funny, but
Yeah.
How do I use this card to get in touch with him? Is it magical of any kind, or is it just like instructions?
Are you asking this in character, or are you just thinking
Hey, so this card, is it like magica hooey, or like, I mean, and I hold it up to my ear and I'm like, hello, Gif, can you, or like, hello, Jam?
His ears twitch as you do that.
Oh, okay, so like, are you like the hip hop-opotamus and like, roll, yeah, you can hear?
Yes. If you hold my card and think of a message, it'll be sent to me.
This is very useful, and I'll tuck it away.
But it only works 5 times.
Oh, how many times did I just waste it right there?
1.
God damn it.
You have 4 left.
Okay.
Are you done touching my back?
Yeah, I suppose. And he turns
you
around and goes
find-
back to packing.
Did you find anything? I obviously cannot see my back.
Well, I was gonna find your serial number, but didn't seem like you wanted me to. You know, consent and all that.
Let him
I
find it.
don't know what consent is.
Just let him find your cereal, man. We gotta name you.
Yes, if you can find more information about who I am, please do so.
Very well. You paid me enough coin. He goes over and he puts his hands onto your back again, Franco, and he starts, he goes over, gets a tool after he realizes that he needs it to get into some of your panels and plates on the back. You see him kind of kneel down. On his knees, he's like the same height as as you guys, except for Zyxx. And he starts using this tool to start to take apart the back of Franco. And then you hear, after a few moments, okay, are you ready? He like dips his head back out of the back of Franco, and you see he's put on like his six monocles to see something very small. And he's like, he's like, are you ready?
Yes, if you are asking me.
Okay, somebody's gonna have to remember this. But,
I got it. I'm writing it down, Jam.
okay, K A L A. And some numbers. Hold on.
Kayla! It's a female Warforged?
Not necessarily. 1. I think it's a 1.
What do you can't read numbers?
It's really small. If you want to try to read it, you can, but...
I scooch on over there, basically telling them that I can now read, but only numbers.
Okay.
So I'm glad that he got the letters out of the way.
Okay, so he gets out of the way with the back still open.
Do you use his monocle? Zyxx.
What was that?
Do you use Jam's monocle?
Oh, Jam, give me that. Give me
It's
that
massive.
big spyglass.
He holds out his hand.
I'll take it.
I think he wants you to climb in his hand.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, we're holding hands. Here we go.
Oh, here's the coin, Jam!
Oh, okay. Thank Darrow. Yeah. See, I'm clueless about this. Here, Darrow, give him 2 coins.
Sorry.
Give him 2 coins.
All right, you guys are marking off your gold coins, right? As
I
you're
am,
giving
that's
into
why I'm
him?
having Darrow
All right,
do
okay.
right now.
You put another one in, and he takes the monocle off of his head and hands it down to Zyxx.
And I look at some numbers.
Okay, as you put the monocle on, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Jesus. 10.
Okay, not bad. So you don't immediately get sick when you put this thing on, as you realize it's not just a magnifying monocle, but it is a magically enhanced monocle that zooms in to such an extent that it gives you like a little bit of vertigo, because
That's cool.
the magnification and the clarity of it is something that is so foreign to you, and your other eye not adjusting to it, it makes you a little bit uneasy for a second, but then as you like gather yourself and you close your eye that's not in the monocle, you realize you can see insanely small, minute things.
Oh, that's really cool. I mean, I'm okay. I'm starting to think that you could read the number, but you were just asking for some more gold.
So make a perception check with advantage because you have the monocle on.
That is gonna be 22.
Oh, 22! Okay, yeah, you see it. You see this cereal perfectly. Franco, would you like to read out the cereal for me?
I don't have it written down. And
So
I don't
it's-
remember it.
All right, I was gonna give you a special moment, but it's mine now. It's
Yep.
KALA 1138.
I think it's an L. It could be a 1. A1138. Calathrace. Calathrace. We could interpret it later, but that's what I see. Does that mean anything to anybody? Jam?
Normally, he wouldn't really care that much, but this seems to be a little bit of a challenge of his intelligence, so he's gonna rack his brain and see if that makes any sense to him.
All right, Jam. Well, if you think of something, you know where to reach me. And I'll pull out his card and like flash it.
He puts his hand on his chin and he says, lightning rails go up to 4 digits. K-A-L-A could be a stop.
Who's in this room besides me and
Darrow and the Warforged, that's it.
Oh, okay.
In fact, because you guys are spending so much time in here, let's cut out into the front door for just a moment. So Marstone, you head out smoking the pipe, and Gabriel storms out shortly after. So, let's do this again really quick. All right, back outside. As the door is kind of shut behind. As you guys to exit, sorry to cut you off real quick, but just as you exit, you realize that all of the guards have started to come back into town, into the keep.
I mean, doesn't he know what that thing is?
Sure he does. He's just an odd fellow.
Just doesn't make any sense to me.
That does it to me. I've never met a creature with no sense of
Self-preservation?
something like that, yes.
I'm sure if we go and tell my order, they'll either pay him to do it or enlist him to do it.
That is if he agrees. He's from Breland.
Yeah.
He may take the coin, but the enlistment will be challenging. And are you sure that the flame will work with him?
I'm not sure. It's worth a shot, though.
Perhaps. Were the others still inside when you came out?
Yeah, they seem to have more questions, but
Perhaps
I
they'll
think
get
it's-
somewhere that we can't.
are you sure?
We can only hope. I think there's more in the head of that goblin than we see.
I think there's more in the Warforged that we just don't know.
That is absolutely correct. I intend to
At this
study more.
point, Clay approaches. Right. We've got everybody accounted for, so we need to go see Jam.
How bad are the losses?
I only see 8.
And no sign of Chinara.
She's... I think maybe it's better if we tell everyone.
I understand.
Please,
I
by all
just-
means.
I step
Follow me.
aside.
Yeah, and he enters in.
Yeah, follow in.
Go back in. Okay, so you guys all walk back in, and Zyxx has a monocle on, and he's inside the back of the Warforged with the plate all up.
What's going on?
You guys aren't gonna believe this.
What?
We found the serial number for the Warforged, and I think we're gonna be able to name him.
Yeah, so there's like a number. Apparently, this is where they're built. Like, so they all know where they come from. But this is a strange serial number. It's KALA 1138. And our large artificer friend here says perhaps that might be something to do with the lightning rails. So we could go take a train and see if there's like maybe a clue. I don't know.
Does anybody carry a map with them?
Let's see
All
if
right.
I have any.
You guys
I
all
probably just have like a local
No.
map from where I
Okay.
came from to here.
How much
Just to
damage
kind
or
of,
something? It's on them.
all right.
no, not really.
All right. At this point, bear with me one second. Clay walks in and sees you guys and looks very focused on something else and just reaches out and says to Jam, "Jam, do you have any more of the? Do you know where the sending stones are?" And Jam is packing and looks and nods and immediately goes to this other compartment, a shelf within a large stack of shelves, and pulls it out, reaches in, and just throws Clay this small stone. It's opalescent, slightly gray, and carved in a very peculiar way, and he throws it over. It's about the size of the palm of his hand, and he catches it. And he looks down and looks up. And then Jam stands up straight and then looks back at Marstone and Gabriel. You guys are both in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He looks back at you two and he goes,
"Oh, yeah. Chinara reported you both MIA, so you might want to contact them again."
Thank you for the information.
and Jam
immediately.
reaches in and tosses a stone to each of you. Each a slightly different color. Gabriel's slightly pearly. Marstone, yours deep black with red swirls in it.
Okay.
I was
you.
pulling out paper at the time that this happened.
So did they hit the papers?
Well, if I saw him throw it, I think I'm going to try and drop the papers to catch the stone.
Sure. I mean, he did just turn to you and tell you guys that your countries think you're dead. So
Yeah. Like I was
Probably
preparing to
alarming.
write that letter. So there are no papers on the floor.
Do I know how to activate this thing?
have you ever used the sending stone before?
I wouldn't think so.
You have to have a
Then you probably
gauntlet
don't.
and like put in the. Never mind.
So
How did this
he
work?
turns. Clay turns to you. It looks like he's about to like hold on to it tightly and then close his eyes, and then he turns to you, a little bit startled, and says,
Well, if I'm correct, I believe that one is going to go to Flame Keep. It would have been what Chinara used to report back to the leaders of your country.
Gabriel
Reports.
looks nervous.
So I don't know who it goes to. But if you'll excuse me, I have to file a bit of a report myself.
and he also looks like 10 out of 10 stressed, sweating. He's clutching this thing that you can only assume is what he's going to use to report back to his superiors. And you see him climb up the stairs above the laboratory and go up to like the planning board that Chinara used up top to get a little bit of space.
Gabriel's just looking at it, and he looks very nervous.
Is my bag still open?
I don't know, Zyxx, is it still open?
I'm gonna put this
He's
back
just over
together.
there, like-
I'm not
You wanna-
finding anything else here except he's got some good
Are you-
fans. This is a quality warforce.
Are you looking around for stuff? Like, what are you looking
Well,
for?
I mean, yeah, that's it. Jordan wants to, but Zyxx would not know.
Zyxx
anything
wouldn't?
about it.
Okay, fair.
So
Fair.
I'll just like probably haphazardly put him back together, and then.
Oh, you're gonna do it? Okay.
Well, no, I assume like
It's too late.
my goal is to be like, okay, I'm putting them back together, and then kind of looking to Jam for help. Like, yeah, the screws go. Wait, what? And so.
All right. He notices you struggling, and he comes over, and he looks down at you, and he says,
Don't worry about it. I got it.
and he leans down, and he starts to put the Warforged back together.
Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah, good job,
Before-
Jam. Get to work. Thank you so
before-
much. Ah, real lifesaver, pal.
Just before he closes it, he opens it again, and he says,
That's interesting.
And then he closes it.
Wait, what?
And
Wait,
then
wait,
tightens
what?
it all up.
What's that interesting stuff? What?
Just looks like he's got a few additions.
Ah.
Some like non-stock parts, if you know what I mean.
Oh, do you recognize the factory, or is that like custom?
Oh no, this is very much artificer's hand. Pretty decent too, if you ask me.
And he closes it and starts tightening it all back up again.
Can I do an insight check to see if I recognize that he recognized the craftsmanship? Like he might know.
Sure. Go for it.
That is a 14.
14. So the GIF are, as you've seen, not emotional at all. They don't really express emotions. They don't get sad. They don't really get mad. They get like mildly irritated or like amused, but not, they're not going to open something up and be like, oh, wow, this is crazy. Like the amount of, even though he was so monotone, you could sense there was a little bit of a fascination with the extra stuff that was in this Warforged. Something's extra.
Okay, I'll kind of keep that to myself.
Okay. At this point, Clay's gonna come back down, wiping his brow of sweat.
Well, that's a relief. They're gonna send something back out tomorrow.
Something what? Personnel?
Another ship.
Supplies?
Yeah, probably a bit of both, to be honest. These soldiers were... Even though they were only here for one day, this is more than I've seen in the last 2 months. So, I think they've had enough, and I think maybe there's some smoother sailing for at least the time being. Right, Jam?
Jam's ears twitch, but he doesn't turn around.
And what of your leadership?
Well, they said that I'm in charge for now, but they're sending someone else new. And, they're gonna be sending out a party, no doubt. To search for her.
Very well. I wish them luck. I hope they find her. She was a valuable asset to Khorvaire.
Indeed.
May
She was a
still
good
be.
leader. Crazy fucking woman, though. But a good leader.
You are not wrong.
And I'm gonna start to ponder the sending stone. I'm just kind of like rubbing it over with my thumb, thinking.
Yeah. And even more so to the house. She is the granddaughter of the Baron, after all.
I kind of choke on the smoke a little bit.
The granddaughter. To the Baron.
Indeed, of Baron Trelib, yes. The leader of the house.
Should we not send someone out immediately then?
They will no doubt send people out. Not that I don't believe in your capabilities. I've seen what you've done for the fort, and...
Oh, not me, no. I would never survive in there.
All I know is they're sending people now. They're sending a ship for the men. And I'll continue to stay here until I'm not needed anymore. But I have to be strong. And what of you all?
you have a boat, by chance?
I believe we have one left, yes.
And borrow it.
His eyes get a little bit more poignant. He stares. Make a persuasion check.
$13.
He goes,
It was indeed somewhat in the water when the wall came close, so it might have been exposed. I don't know what its integrity is, but as long as you bring it back, yes. If you know how to use it. Perhaps one of my men could... You know what? A better thought, no. My men are not prepared to go closer to that thing. But yes, you may borrow it.
Thank you.
Of course. If there's anything else I can do for you, by all means. In my eyes, you are all heroes. And as far as I'm concerned, honorary members of the 1,000-Yard Stare. So thank you. Without you being here, there might have not been any of the 20 soldiers that remain stationed here. And Channara's sacrifice would not have been in vain. So thank you.
in the background, you hear.
Sorry.
I just kind of awkwardly bow my head, and I'm going to pace a little bit, thinking about what I'm going to do next here.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go rifle through some of these reports over the last couple of days. They gave me permission, so I'm gonna have to be prepared just in case something happens before the airship gets here. If there's anything I can do, just let me know. The fort is your home. As much as I know you wouldn't like it to be.
Thank you.
By the way, he's addressing all of you in the room, too.
Gabriel just kind of nods at him, nervously moving around the sending stone, kind of back and forth between his hands.
And also at this point, Jam starts putting a bunch of boxes into the middle of the room. He takes out a little wire, unravels the wire. It falls almost like string, but it's clearly made of metal, and he wraps it around each box. He pulls each end of the wire, and the box shrinks until it becomes the size of a pebble. He picks the box up with his 2 fingers, places them in his coat pocket. And he does that for a bunch of the boxes in the room that have a bunch of stuff in them.
Well, if you excuse me, I'm going to make my report. And I'm going to leave.
Okay. You head outside with the stone.
Kind of dip into, a quiet alley.
Sure. You see back here there are huge burn marks and still like a faint green wispy smoke emanating from parts of the walls where attacks were made by the elemental beings. And you continue to head down into the corner where you see absolutely nobody.
And I'll try to activate it.
Okay, you close your eyes and hold the stone. The stone glows bright for a few moments. What do you say or think?
Flame keep.
Okay. The stone stops glowing. And you hear back in your mind a voice. A stern one, older. Not unlike Prefect Alonso, but definitely a different voice. And you hear, "This is Cardinal Saman. Why is Chinara not speaking?" And that's all you hear. And the stone stops glowing.
I take a second, take a deep breath. This is Gabriel Brightvale of the Order of Templars from Traylon. I was tasked to come down here to get a report. Chinara is missing. The wall has receded, presumably by her efforts.
The stone stops glowing at that, and you look down, and you might have had more to say, but you realize that it just can only handle so many thoughts or words. A moment passes, and you hear... Actually, a few moments pass. That's a lot of information. There's actually a little bit of a gap to the point where you don't think it worked. And then after 10 or 15 seconds... "Thank you for your information, soldier. Please report back to your superior. Once again, this is Cardinal Saman at Flame Keep. We'll keep an eye out." And then the stone stops glowing.
I
Pocket the sending stone.
Okay.
I go, whew. Like, take a deep breath in,
Yeah.
blow out all the nerves.
Immediately upon hearing that word, Cardinal, which you know to be the inner circle of highest, most regarded Ring of Templars around the young leader herself. The equivalent of maybe phoning into like the Pentagon, basically, for your country. Yeah, you head back.
Is there a paper and maybe something to write on in this room where we are, the tower?
Yep.
I just dropped a bunch of it.
Okay, I'm gonna pick some up and I'm gonna write down the letters and the names I was just given. I'm just gonna stare at them for like probably an infinite amount of time unless someone notices. So I'm just gonna stare.
Jam does all this, starts packing up all his stuff, and you see he uses this wire to start shrinking all of the boxes until the room is pretty much emptied out, except for this giant husk of metal contraption in the back of the room, looking like a giant, like brick oven or something. And he gets to the last box, which is this box of prototypes. And he brings it to the middle of the room. Starts wrapping the wire around it.
Hey, Jam. Let me get some of that wire, man.
No.
Come on, dude. After all we've been through.
He starts pulling very carefully on this box and shrinks the box down.
I'll pay you for it.
This wire costs more than your life does.
Jam, I'm a hero. Okay. My life is invaluable.
Everyone has a price.
Exactly. Let me get some of that string, man.
1,000 gold.
1,000. Jam. Come on. It's me. It's Darrow.
He turns his back to you immediately and starts walking to the back of the room. Zero emotion whatsoever. Not having it.
I'm gonna pocket the paper and I'm gonna start looking around to see who's still in here. So Darrow, Zyxx, and that's it, right? Marstone. Oh, Marstone's still in here.
Yeah, I'm just
Everybody's in
pasting.
here.
Oh, and Gabriel came back. Awesome. Okay. Do we now have a plan? Jam seems to be running away. And this clay person, oh, I don't know the name actually. This guard seems to be waiting for more orders or reinforcements. What are we going to do?
Our vacuum is filled. He will take the position of Chinara in the meantime. We don't need to search for her. But this is an excellent opportunity to explore what was once Seer. The new exposed Mournland could hold clues, secrets, but it could also be dangerous.
I need to report back to Treyland.
How
And
long will that
also-
take?
To get back here, go up, depending on what they ask me to do. A couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we're like a weekly show. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I mean, that's by foot, so
Did someone say train?
does a train go through Treyland?
So, a train, you would know this. If you headed, it's about 2 days to, if you were to walk to the city, small city of Arldusk, which is north of you. Arldusk does indeed have a lightning rail station at it that runs all the way up the country to Flamekeep. Now, it does indeed pass by Treyland. Maybe about half a mile out, the tracks are, but it doesn't necessarily stop at Treyland. But lightning rail speeds are much more advantageous and convenient than walking in Eberron.
I mean, all trains stop if you hijack them. So
No, there is one.
What kind of goblin are you?
That's, I mean,
the
that's
cool
a
kind, the
normal
ones you
goblin.
invite to parties. Darrow knows.
Absolutely.
You seem like a criminal to me.
How dare you?
You know, where I'm from, I'm very well respected. No criminals. Goblins, they have a bad reputation out here. But it's all because of the way you treat us. You know, if you
I
go for a good
simply
idea,
meant-
it's a good idea.
I simply meant judging by the things that you just said.
Well, he's
You seem
very
like a
well
criminal.
respected in the thief community.
I would imagine so. With the confidence to hijack a train.
I mean, we should call them lightning rails because I don't know what a train is. Let's be honest.
Lightning rail is what the train travels on.
Yeah.
There is one in Arrow Dusk.
Don't we
Doesn't
have a
really-
boat?
It's a small ship, I'm sure. Nothing
Really quick.
substantial.
Really quick. with all this train talk, Franco, make a wisdom saving throw.
It's my trigger.
It wasn't Excelsior. That was the trigger word. Train.
Yeah.
14.
A 14? Okay. I'll DM you something. Continue
Okay.
on.
We can. I can go 2 days north. Hop on. Probably. Maybe an hour's walk. I can be back here in a couple of days, probably.
I'm with Marstone. I want to go adventuring.
Make no mistake, I also will have to report to Reckonmark, but I believe the Sending Stone may be enough. I just don't know who it goes to yet.
Also, to be clear, they think you're dead, Marstone.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Yep.
throwing it out there.
Okay, so Marstone, take the sending stone and be like, new sending stone, who dis? That works.
I'm not doing that.
God, freaking damn it. Good job.
I don't think so, Tim.
Gabriel, you're talking about leaving? You're gonna split the party? You're gonna go away for like 2 whole days?
I have
You're
to.
gonna break the fellowship.
You're more than welcome to join me.
Oh.
We
How
could
do they
travel
like
to
Alvaro?
Arldusk. Like I said, I'll have to report to Reckonmark. Arldusk is on the way. The ship wasn't supposed to return for me for 2 weeks.
All I need is for us to go somewhere where there's somebody who knows about magical objects.
Would
What
Trailin
kind
have
of
it?
magical objects?
My magic stick.
Your dead tree branch.
It's a magic stick.
All right, so I think we should follow Gabriel and Marstone, and then when they're done, being responsible, we'll go somewhere else. Darrow, can you make your stick like? Can you make it have leaves and stuff on it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So let's make like that stick and leaf.
And I cast Druidcraft really quick and just make leaves
And then I high five him.
come out of the
It's
stick.
a low five. I'm very short.
Did you just multi-class bard? Is that what just happened? I feel like that's what just happened.
In any
if
case,
that
I would like
doesn't
to rest
excite you-
before we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to rest too.
At this point, Jam approaches you all, and he appears to have 2 briefcases at his side. And he walks up to you all, and he says, I need to go back to Argont, so bye.
Love
And
you,
he
Jams.
he keeps walking. He walks past you.
He's not one for conversation, that Jim.
Jam, I love you.
He closes the door quickly. And
There's
outside the
paper
double
on its
doors,
foot for some reason where we don't know why.
outside the double doors, you start hearing strange mechanical noises. Like everyone kind of awkwardly, there's like a silence as Jam leaves, and you look at each other like, what was that all about? And then all of a sudden, out the double doors, you just start hearing like.
I immediately open the door to see what the hell's going on.
Just enjoying
Yeah,
some
I'm like
rum,
peeking
Scott. What are
over
you
my
doing?
stone shoulder.
So you open up the door, and Jam, is getting onto a large
Motorcycle?
rectangular, appears to be metal with lots of little hydraulic pumps on the outsides of it. It's basically a metal solid magic carpet floating about a half a foot off over the ground, and his huge body gets up onto it and starts to sit down on it cross-legged.
Jam, you could show us the world.
He turns back to you. I'd rather not. and you see him slowly hover in the rain. He puts his head up towards the rain, and for a moment, as you see the heavy rain hit his hippo head, you feel like you see a slight crack of a smile as he starts hovering out the fort on his device.
Oh man.
I would have loved if he would have like put on goggles.
Yeah.
An aviator's cap.
Mm-hmm.
He loves rain. It's a hippo.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna.
Fantastic point of view. I'm a little sad that we don't get to go on the metal carpet. Oh
I'm
no!
gonna get
world.
He really is a bard.
It's an ancient goblin song from his homeland.
Of course. The prophecies come true.
It's a song of his people. It's when the goblins came out of slavery.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm gonna get some food and rest my eyes.
Yeah, rest sounds good.
Let's keep it brief. The day is still fairly young.
You wanna leave? You wanna like rest for like 5 hours and go tonight?
Traveling
rather-
at night is foolish.
I'd rather head out in the morning.
I mean, they can't see us if we go at night.
We can't see them either.
Oh, that's right, human.
Oh, yeah. Goblin.
Yo,
Hey Zyxx,
yeah.
what's it like not having dark vision?
I don't know. Me? Oh, I got it.
Gabriel leaves.
I force
The
my way
humans leave.
between them, pushing them on each shoulder, and I also leave. I just leave my papers on the floor.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'll go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go to a covered place and try and use this sending stone.
I'm gonna head to the barracks and eat and.
So would you like to go to your private barracks or the barracks with that all the soldiers use?
Let me look real quick. I think I would go
You've
to
been
the
in
private.
both.
Yeah, I think I would go to
Okay.
the private just because that's how. Yeah, I go to the private one.
Okay,
We have
sure. Yeah, you go
access
ahead.
to everything too.
I enjoy fine food, drink, and high society.
Can I follow Gabriel?
Mr. the Kugo, could you tell me again what place he was going to, Jam?
Argonth is what he said.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Did he leave the entire round thing in the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that he left behind? Any other contraption?
Why don't you make an investigation check?
Sounds like a deal. Natural 20 for a 25.
Oh!
Nice.
Let's go.
Oh my fucking god. Okay,
It's
hold
one
on. I have to
observant
think.
robot.
I have to think for a second. Okay, so Zyxx, where were you headed, by the way?
To the main barracks. I think that's where the food was. So I was going.
There was
towards
food in both places.
probably the main barracks. I think that's where I had
Right.
been, and I knew that
Okay.
there was food there.
Sure. You've been to both. I mean, you
Okay, well,
the private barracks
Gordon
is
doesn't
where
pay attention to the
Chinara.
game, so you should fire him and get somebody who's better.
Okay. You basically, the first place you went was when you were all kind of new to each other and hanging out in the circle table, and all of the guys and the sick people were in there. Then when you came back from being in Khyber, you were given a special barracks by Chinara, which you guys argued about worms all night.
That's right.
That's right.
And Darrow's headed to that other one, right? The second one?
The private one, yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow Darrow then.
All right, no worries. You guys all go into the private one. Okay. Ironically, you head down the same alleyway. Unknowingly, thinking it's a good alley, you head down the exact same one that Gabriel did. Neither of you know you shared the same alley, but you do. So, investigation check, natural 20. Behind one of the tables, kind of slid all the way back to the wall, a little bit out of sight, you see a small metal contraption that looked like it fell out of one of the boxes that Jam had. You're unsure of what it is, but you rack your brain, and it looks like it's maybe in the same family of devices that Chinara had.
Okay, since I am proficient with Tinker tools because I spent 2 years or a year and a half in the Mournlands trying to find stuff and fixing myself, I am gonna spend a little bit of time trying to understand this device from the experience that I've had before, seeing Chinara firing it. I'm gonna try to ascertain what it is, like completely what it is, if it's the same thing or not, and what it has missing, if it's possible.
All right. First thing I want you to do is roll a d4.
And also, the first thing I'm going to try is cast Mending on it, which is going to fix a break or tear in an object I touch. A broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, a torn cloak, a leaking wineskin. Yeah, it's something smaller, but maybe if there's anything superficial that's broken, I'm going to try to fix it that way first.
You got it.
And
First, let's figure out which prototype it is. So roll a d4.
D4 comes as a 2.
Okay. Oh my god. Jam's prototype Revolution 1.6
Ooh.
is picked up by you
So excited.
and mended, and some of the superficial metal and things that are scarred up or broken clean up and repair. And you may put that item in your inventory
Oh
now.
my god, that is gonna explode in your face. I'm so excited.
No way, man.
In fact, on the side of one of the small little metal tubes that line this revolver-looking exoskeleton of a device, it even says right on it, engraved right in it, Jam's Revolution 1.6, right on the metal thing.
Okay, I'm gonna use my scarf and I'm gonna put it across my back, tightening it to my back with the scarf. And I'm gonna actually just sit inside the big thing, and I'm gonna start resting.
Okay. All right.
Like
so you
turning
go
off.
inside the egg where there is a large cavity where Marstone had seen Jam working on a project which now sits at the wall of the Mournland. With the power source of the egg now being used for the device, there is now a large space, and you climb in, fold your legs, and go into standby. Marstone.
Yep.
What do you do?
Once I'm under an awning of sorts, I'm going to kind of just finish whatever tobacco is unburnt in the pipe, tamp it out on the heel of my boot, stow that, take a deep breath, and I'm going to give the stone a squeeze. I'm going to try and use it.
The stone glows. What do you think or say?
This is Scholar Freitas Marstone reporting from Marathon Keep.
Okay. There's a few seconds that go by. The stone goes back to being a dull color. The stone glows back up and you hear a voice in your head. Report. That's it?
I compose myself a little bit, and I produce one of my latest journals, and I flip open to one of the newest pages just to kind of freshen up, and I squeeze the stone again, and I think about the last few days and what's happened, and I decide on a few major details to report. Despite the previous report, I am in fact not MIA, nor am I dead. However, the leadership at the keep is. The wall has receded. I would like to investigate. And that's it.
Okay. 5 seconds go by. Nothing happens. 10 seconds go by. Nothing. 30 seconds go by. Nothing. Standing there in the rain, holding the stone. Cold.
I close
Stone's color leaves.
I close the journal and I pocket it.
Okay.
I'm gonna head back inside.
Back inside where?
I'm gonna run over to the nice barracks.
Yep. Anything you guys want to do or say before you rest? There's really no... It's a little awkward, right? Because we're actually in like early afternoon, but you know, there's really no rule for when you take your long rests. And also in a situation like this where you're just coming out of a war-like intense state of combat, it does kind of make sense that regardless of the time, given the circumstances, it would indeed be an appropriate time to rest if you wish to do that.
Probably be pretty tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna do is when I wake up. So if we're going forward, with the long rest,
I
maybe.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, just hanging out until nightfall and then going to sleep.
Okay. There's anything you guys would like to talk about before? I'm just giving you the opportunity. Otherwise, we can take the night time and rest. Roger that. Okay. Night falls. Just gonna rearrange a couple things here. Okay. When the morning comes, the rain ceases.
I'm gonna finish like my standby situation a little earlier than the rest of the group. So I'm gonna use that time to put the rifle back on the table and try to see if I can fix it as much as I can, trying to match what I saw in Shannara's rifle in both battles. And see if I can scavenge parts from the room, if there's anything left, any resources left. I'm gonna try to fix whatever I can. Mainly, I kind of don't know how this works, so this could probably go with either disadvantage or me not fixing it literally. But he's gonna try. The important thing here is that he's trying.
Okay. Why don't you make for me a... Investigation is intelligence-based, correct?
Yeah, this would be
Make
Tinker
another
Tools,
investigation.
maybe? Okay. Investigation.
Tinker Tools would be helpful if you knew what you were doing, but you do not know what
Yes,
you're
it's a 10 for investigation.
doing. All right, so with a 10, you feel satisfied in that you have fixed this thing as much as you understand it.
Awesome.
There's nothing that you could do to this thing more to make it in a better state. However, it doesn't... You don't understand what it is.
Yep.
But it
Awesome.
to your knowledge, it is fixed.
Yes.
However, whatever it is.
Once that's done, I'm gonna put it back again on my back, and I'm gonna start walking out and just waiting for them, standing right in the middle of the plaza, just staring
How
at
are you putting it on your back?
through the scarf again, and I'm gonna tighten the scarf again.
All right. So yeah, you put this like it's a little bit larger than a traditional sort of like revolver pistol would be. So I imagine like the holster, like the handle and the barrel are kind of sticking out of your scarf at the back.
So I thought it was a rifle.
Mm-mm.
Okay, then I'm gonna just put it, like, use the cloth I have on my hips, and I'm gonna use that again.
In your
And
pack?
start.
Yeah, in your sack, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, makes more sense. Okay.
All right. And then where are you headed?
And I'm gonna stand right next to the well, and I'm gonna wait for them, just standing there,
Sure.
frozen.
So everyone wakes up after a enormous sleep. Well-deserved sleep after the chaos of yesterday. And you wake up, and your first emotion as you wake up at being inside this place in the fort is that of emergency and urgency. But immediately recalling everything that happened and realizing that there is a safety mechanism functioning and the wall shouldn't... hopefully it isn't closer now. Still a little bit on edge, but you are well rested.
I'm going to get up, put on a base layer of gear. I'm going to leave my weapons and pack in my bunk, but I'm going to sit down and try and read a little bit as I have breakfast.
Okay.
I'm going to pray for a couple minutes, change out some spells.
I will go outside and find some like trash and let my bugs kind of crawl around in it and get some food.
Okay. You see there's like a bat. Actually, make an investigation check. Why not?
Uh, 15.
Yeah. So you go back behind this alley and you see a barrel that perhaps might have been food stores or something for the camp that would have been brought in to the barracks, but it looks like during the battle with the gas, it had seeped into it and it smells foul. And there's cracks in the barrel and it's like expanding due to like condensation, like all this other, these gases and all this other stuff. And your bugs immediately just see it and run straight into this thing. And yeah, they just go to town on it.
Yes, feed my children.
You hear a bunch of like high-pitched little squeaks coming from inside, the little happy squeaks.
Terrible but awesome.
Everybody else, what are we doing? It's a new day at Arithon Keep.
Well, I suppose if we've all had our breakfast and nobody else is doing anything, I'm gonna get ready and head out.
I want to meditate just for a little bit and change out some spells too.
If I see Marstone coming out, I'm gonna beeline towards him. As I pull the gun and aim it, kind of aim it towards him.
I throw my hands up immediately.
And I'm
What
gonna
are you
extend.
doing? What
I'm
are
gonna
you
ex-
doing?
I'm gonna extend my hand towards him with the gun, still pointing at him. You wanted this.
Do you have trigger control or no? Is your finger on the trigger?
This is my safety.
I mean, in this world, I don't even think there's knowledge of what trigger control would even be. So it's like, what even is that?
Oh
I'm going to,
I got
I'm
you
gonna
with
take
this.
a couple steps kind of to the side, and I'm gonna use the handle of my halberd to kind of control the muzzle of this thing.
Didn't you just say you left your weapons?
No, I as Darrow was
As you
starting
left,
to
you picked them back up
meditate.
again?
Yep, I got everything ready.
Okay.
And I'm
All right.
ready.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'm gonna use the wooden part to kind of control the muzzle of this thing, the business end that I know lightning comes out of from watching Janara. I'm gonna kind of control that off to the side and say, "You or me. Please don't point that at me."
Oh. Okay.
And I'm going to extend a hand.
You extend your hand.
May I?
Yes, it is for you. You wanted it. And I'm gonna just, like, maybe when I'm going back, I point at him, maybe slightly, and then drop it.
I flinch a little bit and I grab it.
Hands up in front of your face.
Yep. I like grab it out of his hand. I'm just gonna kind of look it over.
Sure. Absolutely. It is the revolver exoskeleton looking prototype from Jam's lab.
Okay.
You have no idea how he got it.
I don't. I have no idea how it works. I have no idea what it does. Basically, what I'm going to do with it right now is I'm going to kind of move it around in my hands and observe and take in as much information about it as I can. And then I'm going to hand it back to the Warforged.
I fixed it. You don't like it?
I do. I would like to study it more, but right now I have no idea what to do with it. Perhaps you could take it for a while.
At this point, Zyxx, your bugs come back to you, and you come around the corner, and you see this exchange where the Warforged is like pointing the gun at Marstone, and then there's like an exchange, and then there's like an exchange again. They're just like passing the prototype back and forth from Jam's lab.
Are you guys on drugs? Okay, let's point the guns down. And by guns, I mean fancy crossbows. Let's point those crossbows to the ground so that we don't hurt anyone.
Not a crossbow. This is some kind of lightning slinging magical device.
Okay, yes, but I'm saying that because the Warforged doesn't understand anything, okay? I know that you know that it's a lightning throwing thingamabob.
Do you know what a crossbow is? I say to the Warforged.
You just have to prove me wrong, you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna lift my left forearm, and then the two balls of a crossbow eject to the sides, and then the forearm actually splits up, and a bolt gets put on the crossbow, and I shoot it to a wall close by.
Yeah, you'll see. He's like Assassin's Creed. He knows this stuff.
A point to you, Zyxx. I'm like shocked. Anyway, could you
point to me, not like you're pointing the gun at me.
Right. No.
Confused.
One point on the scoreboard. to you for being correct.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna continue to hand this to the Warforged. I'm gonna say, could you hold this for a little while? I need to take some notes.
Okay. I'll take it and put it back on my sash to the right side.
Okay, you'll be careful with that and use it only in the most dire needs, because it might explode in your face.
Okay.
At this point, you all see a guard avoid your firearm confrontation and goes up to the door where you're staying and knocks on the door. And so Gabriel and Darrow, you guys hear a...
Yeah, I'd probably be done about this time, so I'll get
Okay.
up and
Yep, same.
Okay. And you head to the door?
Mhm.
All right, you open the door and you see one of the soldiers. And this soldier's face is burned into your mind, into your memory, because this is the soldier that was terrified on the wall with you during the fight. And upon you opening the door, he gets taken aback a little bit, almost like he was not quite prepared to see your face immediately. And he gathers himself and he says, Good morning, sir.
Gabriel smiles. Good morning.
And he appears to be a human, not unlike you, kind of young. You're not sure if he's like around your age, or a little bit older, a little bit younger, but he says, I wanted to say thanks for everything yesterday. I thought what you did was absolutely amazing.
I was just following the guidance of the Silver Flame.
That's why I thought I'd come talk to you.
Marstone audibly rolls his eyes.
What
is
is
it?
the Silver Flame?
It's everything. It's what gives us courage. It's what helps fight the evil in this world. It's what makes good men and women be good.
How can I be strong like you? I don't want to end up like Hale. I want to be able to do the things that you're doing.
I put a hand on his shoulder. Just listen. That's all you have to do. The Silver Flame will guide you.
Can you help me?
Would you like to come along?
A few minutes of your time. I just like an hour of training. Just something. I don't even know where to begin. I feel so normal. Like I shouldn't be here. You're so strong.
I'm not. I just do what I think is right.
Can you show me how?
I can certainly try.
And I go, do the flame thing. Show him the flame thing.
Gabriel audibly rolls his eyes.
What? So how are you going to deal with this soldier?
Let's see. I will I will. How the symbol that's on my armor?
Mhm.
Is it something that's extra on there, or is it like a brand?
It's up to you.
Okay, I tell you what, I'll do this instead. I will reach into my shirt, like from my neck, and pull out a silver chain that has an arrowhead. That's silver and very ornate looking.
This is fantastic. As you reach down into your shirt and look down into your armor, into your chest, make a perception check.
Sure.
Bet you didn't see this coming.
Oh no. I think I know.
12.
12. There is... You're not sure if it's from the battle or from what. You have maybe about a half an inch scar, like a small dark, maybe about the width of like a pencil being drawn. You have a small little cut or scar on your chest, in the middle of your chest, as you reach down to grab it, and it looks like a large scratch or something.
I'm gonna take note of it and still pull off the necklace and hand it over to him.
And right when
All
he
right,
hands it to him, I'm gonna cast Druidcraft and make all the candles in the room come on, like
all the light sources kind of
Yeah,
like
all the light
flicker and
sources.
grow brighter.
There's like
He
this
looks around.
angelic glow behind me while my hand with this necklace on.
He takes it and he says, I recognize that this is important, that this has power, but how do I use it?
There's nothing to use. It's a reminder for you to look upon at your most time of need. Some people are born with extraordinary gifts, and some people learn it over time. Some takes longer than others.
How do I know if I have a gift? How do I know if I'm even cut out for this? I don't even know if I should be here.
That's stuff you should be asking yourself.
So this silver flame can't help me. It's just me. I'm on my own.
No. But sometimes it just sits there and listens.
I see. Thank you. He forces a smile, looks down at the pendant. I hope you're here for at least a little while longer. At least until we get out of here. What was your name again?
My name's Gabriel. But unfortunately, the silver flame beckons me home.
I see. Thank you. Thank you, Gabriel. And he nods and turns around and walks away.
I turn back to Darrow. You didn't have to do that.
Hey, man, I just wanted to help you out and help the kid believe.
Did you say leave or believe?
Believe.
And what
Also,
about
at this
you?
point, oh, go ahead, continue.
Are you a believer now?
I'm not saying I am. I'm not saying I'm not. But some of the stuff I've seen you do in the name of the Silver Flames has been pretty incredible. So I would like to know more.
Anytime you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
All right, then.
And perhaps you can ask people who are more knowledgeable. When we get
Like
to
who?
Freyland. My prefect.
Okay. We'll do that.
Gabriel gives a genuine smile and leaves the barracks.
Awesome. As you guys leave outside, you see Clay approach you all in a group. Seemingly, you guys have all grouped up somehow. I don't know how it's happened, but you guys are all here now. And Clay approaches and says, "Good morning."
Good morning, Clay.
Morning.
Play-Doh. Hey, man.
Anyway, listen. Had a really long chat with all of my men yesterday, and I want to make it a point. I was hoping that you guys could help me. You see, the reason why I'm the only one that stayed here multiple tours is because, not unlike you, I want to set an example. I want to use my presence as a source of assuredness and security to let people know that they can stand against anything that they put their mind to. They're strong, even against the unknown. And he turns and kind of like points at the wall over the keep. And I made a vow since we lost Heel that I will stay here for every new group of troops until I can't anymore. And I had a long chat with all of the troops last night, and I feel like we could really get through to them and show them if what I'm asking you is there any way that you guys could show some of the troops here a few of the things that you know? It's a small session of training. Every single troop here gets some training back en route for what they're about to do here, but as you can see, it's never enough. It's never enough for the real thing. I really got into some of their heads last night, but I feel like if you guys have any spare time today to spend with any of the troops, I can't pay you anything, but certainly boost morale around here. If you guys gotta go, I understand. Just thought from one soldier to the next, and he looks over at Marstone specifically. You might be a little more inclined to show your perspective on duty and honor.
I am going to turn to the others and ask, do you think we could spare an hour or two today from our travels?
I mean, we're already going out of the way to talk to a bunch of people, so what's another day?
I say
no, not a day. An hour, if that.
It won't take long.
There is at least two. James and Rith, in particular, would benefit immensely from receiving any instruction from any of you after what they've seen on the walls yesterday
And it might solidify in their minds that this wasn't a catastrophic event that will traumatize them. This is what they signed up for.
I think that's feasible.
He's asking us for something very simple, and it's very noble of you to want to set that example. And I would be more than happy to train some of your troops. How many of them can take notes? Good notes.
Like I said, James and Rith, in particular, are probably the most willing to train and maybe even stay for the tour instead of just going home immediately. And I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of losing soldiers. They're in the barracks right now.
You have
I start heading over there.
a martial training space?
Just outside the keep's walls, there's a couple spaces where people like to spend some free time and keep sharp. So that'll probably be the best part.
I'll be waiting there, preparing.
All right. You head outside, and the two guards kind of look at you. And as the two guards outside the gates see you, Marstone, the gates are open, by the way. I just can't adjust it on the map, but the gates open, and the guards see you, Marstone. Mm-hmm. They immediately stand at attention. Immediately. They bring one of their fists up to their chest, and they just stand at attention to you.
Are they, by chance, Carnathian?
Nope.
Okay. Then I'm going to give a pretty generic kind of real quick touch in the fist of the chest. And then moving straight through.
Mm-hmm. The only soldiers you've seen in Arithon Keep look to be soldiers, generic sort of soldiers for hire with their own armor. Mm-hmm. And then soldiers that look like they are maybe a part of House Madani. And whether or not they have dragon marks or they have specialty skills, or if they just maybe have ties to the house, you're not sure. Some of them just have more decorated armor that would signify those colors, and then some of them are a little bit more generic. These two out here are a little bit more generic. They look like they're soldiers for hire.
So it's generally more difficult to tell where they're going to be from.
But also you recognize that they were there yesterday. Mm-hmm. They saw you do your thing. They saw their friends die. They were there.
Okay. I'm going to kind of look around the space. Are there like training dummies or anything set up?
There are. Just to the south, you notice that there's kind of an opening in between the trees where there are two dummies set up. And also, it looks like the ground's beaten in a little bit and dirtier where there's been lots of footfall. So you start heading in that direction, and you make your way over here to the opening.
I'm gonna.
What are the rest of you doing?
And I'm gonna join.
All right.
I'm gonna join.
Yeah, I'm going
train.
too.
All right. So.
Yeah, I'll follow. I don't really want to get my hands dirty though.
All right, you three exit out. Same thing happens. The soldiers all kind of turn to you, respectfully look at you, and they purse their lips together as if to hold back emotion, and they respectfully bring one fist up to their chest and stand at attention when you walk by.
Okay, like this.
Can you explain it for people that can't see your webcam?
I take my hand up, slap my chest with it, and I put my fist out to him. Nod.
I'm gonna get close to one of them.
Okay.
And very extremely awkwardly, I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder and move my head like to meet his forehead. Extremely awkwardly.
Make a charisma check with disadvantage.
Oh no!
That's not gonna end well.
I saw this
You're gonna
yesterday.
knock him unconscious.
Oh, that's a 12.
Okay. Why do I see a 16 as well?
I rolled the 2 die for disadvantage. I don't know how to roll.
Oh,
disadvantage.
correct. All right, dumb me. All right, 12 is still not bad. You pull in, and he puts his head against yours, and the two soldiers kind of look at each other after you do that, and they both nod, and they just turn back to you guys.
Awesome. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah. It's not natural, but like it, you know.
Are they
did the thing.
uncomfortable?
No. They're staring at you with such respect that they look just honored to be in your presence by the way that their faces look.
Okay, I look over at him and I go, listen up, worms. That's your first lesson of the day. Never trust a warforged. He could have killed you, and you allowed him to get that close to you within striking distance.
They hold on, let me switch off this guy. Let me switch back to they both look at each other and they're yes sir, and they start to like get their weapons at the ready, and then they pull out like their spears and they put them down next to themselves, and they look really like concerned and on alert now.
That's right.
We keep going. We join Marstone.
Yeah.
All right, you guys find Marstone with his out in this opening. There's 2 target dummies out here.
Marstone was at the gate. He would have boxed Darrow's ears right there.
I'm waiting for something to happen like that. All right, and then we'll cut back to as Gabriel and Clay enter into the barracks. You see 3 soldiers in here. And as Clay enters, he says, oops. He doesn't say oops.
He enters. Oops, sorry.
Oops. Sorry, Gabriel.
You didn't realize you were changing.
Check him back later.
So, he enters in and he says, at attention! Remember that talk from last night? Well, it's finally happening. It's your lucky day. Gabriel's gonna show you here to the training grounds. You all are going to find out what it's like to be a true hero. Are you ready? And the 2 soldiers immediately get up and get their stuff, and they both look really, really intensely at you, at Gabriel and at Clay. And they're ready. It's one human with dark hair underneath the helmet. You can kind of see it's poking out of the helmet. And the other one appears to be maybe a half elf, and very, very pale skin. Both very young soldiers.
Follow me.
Okay, they follow you.
And I head him outside. It just would have been like 2 seconds. So I would have probably seen everyone walking that way as well.
Mm-hmm. Clay also would have like told you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Clay's coming too. So you all exit. I'm gonna grab one of these. So you bring these 2 guards to this opening. And you could see as they're approaching, you can see there's actually a little bit of nervousness showing up on James and Rith's faces because the whole group is out here for some reason. And there's like a little bit of shock from seeing like a celebrity, and they're just being very, very, very quiet. And Clay turns to you both, or turns to all of you, and just says, right. They're gonna show you all the things that they know would help them in time of need, time of battle, time of desperation. Listen, and listen well. We got that right. And they both say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they both turn to the group.
I'm gonna walk over to Marstone and put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna say, "Show him what you got." And I'm gonna cast enhanced ability on him, giving him Eagle's Splendor, which gives you advantage on charisma checks.
Oh, yeah!
Whoa!
That's handy. All right.
Marstone glows silver for a brief moment, and then it dies down again.
I am standing in a very rigid kind of position at the, like, between these two dummies, with my halberd in one hand and, like, the other arm kind of tucked behind.
Uh-huh.
And I ask the two what their names are. Each of you. And I look at the one on the left.
It's, Rith, sir.
And you?
The half-elf, pale half-elf looks to you. The human with dark hair, it's, James.
Rith, James? Where did you receive your training?
We both took the training course back at Rote with the house.
Do you have any prior combat experience?
Just in the training, sir.
Are either of you adept at magic?
James says, no. Rith says, no.
I look over at the casters and I say, then I'm sorry, but you'll have nothing to do today.
Make an insight check, Marstone.
Okay. Yeah. 6.
6? Okay. Continue on. Carry on.
To start things off, I've drafted some notes for you. And I hand them each a page.
They take it, like, a little bit confused and off-put, and...
These are spear techniques. I see that you're each carrying standard equipment. You likely also have a long sword. Perhaps use crossbows or longbows.
Yeah, we just have the spear right now, but we normally don't train with the spears.
Why on earth would you carry a weapon you don't train with?
We don't want to hurt anybody.
I kind of rest. I facepalm.
I look at my hammer.
I'm laughing from the side, but trying to keep it in. I'm just like,
I'm going to walk over and point to the very tip of one of their spears, and I'm going to say, do you see this end? How would you describe it?
Sharp, sir.
Right. Sharp things cause...
What?
What do they cause?
Deep
wounds! Deep bleeding wounds!
Okay.
I want you to charge at that dummy. Strike it through the abdomen.
Okay.
Charge!
It's okay. It's okay,
Charge
Rick,
now!
I got this. And James just starts running towards the target dummy. Hold on. There we go. That's better. He starts running towards the target dummy. And he goes to stab it. And he does. You see him jab the spear right into the center of the target dummy. And then he pulls it out, and he turns back and says, what do we do now? And at this point, Clay holds his head in his hand and turns back and looks at you, Marstone, and says, listen, I don't doubt your abilities, but this is how they usually learn. And he throws out 2 wooden, they're like the size of short swords, but they are they're wooden training swords, basically. And he throws them out. They don't have any cross hilts or anything like that. They're just sticks. He throws them out at the other 2 guards and then throws one at you.
Okay.
And says, these soldiers just fought the wall of the most catastrophic event that's ever happened in history. Don't take it easy on them.
I get
soldiers!
The nastiest grin on my face as I bury the bottom half of the halberd into the dirt, and I get into a defensive stance with this wooden sword.
It's time to learn. Forget the dummies. Charge! Roll for initiative, Marstone.
All right.
I also need the rest of the people watching to roll d20s.
4. Oh boy.
7.
Ooh!
13.
Who are the highest 2 d20 rolls of the sidelines?
I'm a 15, so.
I've got 13.
Yep. Gabriel on 6. Yep.
Gabriel and Zyxx? Okay. Gabriel, you are James.
Okay.
And Zyxx, you are Rith, the half-elf.
Oh.
Go ahead and go to D&D Beyond and just type in soldier and find the soldier stat block for monster.
Ooh, okay.
The wooden training sword is just gonna be 1d4 plus the strength modifier of the soldier. Soldiers, you get to charge first, as they know how the standard training goes. Marstone's defensive at the ready.
All right.
James and Rith.
So we're attacking Marstone then.
With the training swords.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I go, oh, for my homeland, and I'll jump at it with a long sword attack. I get 2 attacks.
You do get 2 attacks, correct. You get everything that's on that block,
Yeah,
except
the
for...
first is 17.
Does that hit, Marstone?
Yes, it does.
All right, so do 1d4 plus the strength modifier.
1d4? Oh, because they're
Yep.
training points. That's 2 damage.
2 bludgeoning damages, 1 actually strikes
I'm
you,
down.
Marstone.
I look a little shocked.
And then you say I'm down, and I'm like, oh, geez, I'm sorry, sir. And I roll a 5 for my second attack.
Yep. So you take the first one, Marstone, but quickly you're like, okay, all right. And you dodge underneath the second one and look for James, who's coming straight at you.
All right, save me, Jimmy.
I don't suppose a 8 hits.
No.
That's sweet again. What about this one? 11?
Nope.
Marstone, it's now your turn.
All right, so I take the first hit, I duck and parry the rest of these attacks, and I'm gonna come in with a single hit on James. And it's... Are we just rolling straight d20s for the hit?
It's... The only thing that changes is the weapon's damage. That's it.
Okay, so it's still like a longsword.
Yeah, it's still gonna use the same modifiers to hit.
Cool.
And you can use any of your abilities, you can use whatever you got.
That first one's gonna be a 6. It rolled off
Okay.
the fucking side of the screen on the 6.
To be fair, you probably have, being from Karnath, you probably have never used a light training wooden sword before in your life. Because it's so savage there. So this is new to you.
Yeah, no, we use blunted steel blades.
Exactly.
All right.
Can you do anything else on your turn?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Oh, I could have taken one on the other one. Anyways, yeah, no, that's just going to be it. So I'm just going to take
All
one
right.
quick hit.
Okay, James and Rith. Try to beat him up.
I'm going for it. Oh,
Wait, which one's James and which one's Rith?
I thought I was.
I think.
All right, you're James.
Okay. All right, Gabriel's Rith. So
All right,
Gabriel,
cool.
you're a half elf. James is a human.
Yeah, that figures. 15.
Get him, James.
18.
What was it, a 15?
18 to hit.
18.
Oh!
That 18 will hit.
2 damage.
All right.
Oh, smacked.
That's
You're just
right,
getting
going
pelted
into
with
a
these
second.
wooden, these fake
Oh,
wooden
geez,
swords.
that's
They're
a
just
9.
pelting you.
9
In the
for second
distance,
hit.
I want to believe on the sidelines, it's just 2 untrained soldiers trying to beat down Marstone with wooden sticks.
I'm sure a 9 doesn't hit.
9 does not hit.
We got him, James.
I believe in you, Rick.
Oh shit! 19 to hit.
19 will hit, yep.
For mother.
Ooh. For is it just a D4? Oh, plus strength, right?
Plus strength.
So
Yep.
that is 4 points.
Ooh,
damage.
points of damage as you get smacked across the face by Rith with his eyes closed, just wailing on you. They're just like almost no technique, just wailing on you.
Carnathian.
What did you say?
I'm sorry.
Your turn. Marstone?
I'm going to hit Rith. He's talking some shit. 17.
17 misses.
So here's the thing. So that stat block, the only
Okay.
thing that's different is these guys in this particular fort wear leather armor. So it's going to be a
okay.
15. It's going to be a 15.
Let me write that down.
Damn, that's a high AC. How are these guys getting nuked?
Well, chainmail and shield. This is what we have.
Oh, yeah.
Saving throws is how they're getting nuked.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, 17. So I'm gonna take that hit, and you said it's a D4 plus strength.
Plus strength, correct.
So
Also, the other modification for the 2 guards is you guys each have 10 HP.
Oh, okay.
so I just hit him for 7.
So Marstone wises up and smacks you across the face as hard as he can.
And I'm
Dude,
going
there-
to use
yeah,
the
there's
superiority
blood.
die. I'm going to use one superiority die to ram him in the chest with my ram skull shoulder
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and do a pushing attack.
Mm-hmm.
I add the total damage. Add the total to the damage roll, and if the target is large or smaller, must make a strength saving throw of 13.
Okay.
So roll that out. I'm gonna roll a d8 for that damage.
Oh my god.
2 points of damage. I got you down to 0 exactly.
That is 19.
Should have
to
1,
save.
right?
19. No, oh yeah, he should have 1. You're right.
You have 1 HP.
So you made the saving throw, right?
You bash him with your skull, and you go flying backwards. Clay runs in and just says, No, you're done. You're done. You're absolutely done. And he picks you up underneath your arms as you're bleeding from the mouth.
You, sir.
You got a tooth missing from the ram, and
I
you
didn't
just like
want
he's
anything.
he pulls you back, out of the fight and lays you down as you're recovering, just looking up at the sky.
Gabriel's gotta go over and heal him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn to Rith is the one, or James is the one that's left, right?
Yeah.
Or Rith.
Mm-hmm.
James.
James.
James is
okay.
the human with dark hair, yeah.
I'm gonna turn to James and I'm gonna give him one of the come on, come at me kind of waves.
All right, after I pee a little, I'm gonna just take my sword down close to my chest and then like run towards you with that like and like try to just do the best I can.
We're making these guards fucking so bad.
16.
16. That is my AC.
Oh, it's again.
4 damage.
Nice.
And from
So
the
the-
sidelines, you hear, "Kill him, Marstone!
Second
Kill
attack
him
is another
dead!"
16.
Ooh, another one.
What was that one?
Another 16 for the second
Another
attack.
16. Nice.
And then another 4 damage.
Ooh.
Oh, so he sees you pull your hand out and say, "Come at me." Takes advantage of it, seeing his friend go down again. His instincts as a fighter come out, and he just bap bap hits you twice.
Come on, come at me.
Get him, James, for me.
This is the best episode ever.
I'm gonna do like a sweeping overhead attack. So I'm gonna lunge in on my left foot first. I'm gonna do like a sweeping overhead and go for like his hip area. That hit's gonna land. Oops. Oh hell no! I almost hit the power button on my PC.
What?
Yeah. Well, so the
With your
dice.
big toe or what?
No. The dice. I've got my toolbar hidden, so I went down to hit the die for the D4, and it pulled up the Windows menu, and I went up 1, and it hit the power button. We're
see.
good though. We good.
All right,
3
do damage.
plus 3, 6,
6 damage.
down to
and
4
I am going to use a superiority die to do a disarming attack. When you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to add it to the damage and disarm the target if they fail a strength DC 13.
All right. Strength DC 13 saving
So that's-
throw. I believe the soldier has a 1.
That's another 2 damage, so a total of 8.
Yeah, so that's a 19 plus 1
So he-
saving throw, so 20.
So you take the 2 extra damage, but you
did
do
8 damage
maintain.
extra, or no?
Yep, I go for the
Yep.
hip hit. It's a good strike, and then I move it up to try and knock his hand to disarm him, but he only takes the hand damage.
So do I have 4 health, or am I gone?
Yep.
I mean, you've been keeping track. You have 10 total health at the beginning of the fight. So where are you at now?
So he did 6 damage, but I thought he just said
And then
he did
took-
another 8.
No,
You
no,
did
I did
another
another 2.
Oh,
Total of 8.
total. Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So you're at 2.
Okay, yeah. So I'm like I cough up some blood. Not today, motherfucker.
So at this point, with two, you Clay runs up to try to grab you, but you just fight through his arms and try to swing again anyway.
This is the spirit you need in a warrior.
18
Yeah.
for
He's
another
like,
4
he's like,
damage.
no, you're done. You're done.
Hold me back, boss. Hold
No,
me
you're
back.
done.
Okay, I'll step down. Yeah. That was fun though.
So he manages to get another whack at you, Marstone, but yeah, Clay jumps in, seeing him like bleeding from hits from the bat. He just like jumps in. It's like, no, you've learned enough. And he pulls you back towards your buddy. Over to the
Did
sidelines.
good, right, Riff?
What? I can't hear anything. Just sounds like.
And as a little bit of time goes by, they rest up, they heal up. There's a little bit of a time after where they come back up to you and they address you, Marstone, and they're like, oh, I don't know how it just happened so fast. We were both beating on you, and then you like drop your shoulder. They're both really interested in your shoulder bashing technique.
Okay.
Are you willing to share that with them?
Absolutely.
So, you spend 15, 20 more minutes with the target dummies and going over, the technique of swinging, bashing, disarming, using these maneuvers that you were using in battle. And these two, whether you literally beat the energy and will out of them or not, or whether they're just really good students, they absorb your knowledge like sponges. Yep. And you see a fire in both of them in different ways that is not unlike, it reminds you of you being a young soldier just starting your training, and you see you have sparked both of these soldiers in a way that seems like they are almost different soldiers than they were before you started this training session.
Excellent.
And I would like to congratulate you, Marstone, because you are now level 4.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I need everybody to roll perception checks.
Ooh, natural 20.
Ooh!
22 total.
Okay. So, natural 20. That's insane. Darrow, as all this training's going on, maybe about quarter of a mile away from the fort inland, you spot somebody in between some trees. Someone getting on a horse. And they look kind of like they have the similar armor as Gabriel. And I'm just going up to all of the rolls here. We got perceptions. Gabriel, you notice this too, but instead you hear like the neighing of a horse. You look out in that direction, and you also see someone that looks like they're wearing similar armor to that of the Silver Flame.
How far away are they?
Like a quarter of a mile. Like a ways away, but the shimmer and just the silhouette is something that's familiar. I do not see Marstone. Perception check.
Oh, my apologies.
Was busy leveling up.
Yeah, I should do that later. Okay, we back at it. Perception.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Not good. I am far too
Okay.
focused on the
You are busy. You are so fixated on these two trainees that are absolutely enthralled with your training that you are just loving it because you have not had somebody so receptive to your training and to your techniques as these two have become. What do you guys do as there's sort of like this break? We're sort of like at a post-training powwow where everyone's kind of having conversations with each other.
I'm gonna walk over to Marstone.
Okay.
How's Marstone looking?
He's rough. There's definitely some knocks, bruises, bleeding. But he seems happy to be that way, oddly. But you can tell that there may be some bruised bone.
Do you require healing?
Now that you mention it, perhaps it would be a good idea.
James chimes in and says, "Yeah, even healing is necessary for heroes too, I guess."
Of course it is. I am only human.
I'm gonna put my left hand at my chest and just mutter a prayer, and my right hand is gonna go onto his shoulder,
and I will cast Cure Wounds on him. Ooh, that's good for 12 points.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a big one.
That's a huge one. That almost puts me at full.
And as this happens, Clay turns to the soldiers and says,
All right. Say you guys have learned enough for one day. Let's let these heroes be on their way.
and he turns and starts going with the soldiers and okay.
Clay.
Even he stops and turns and looks left into the distance. And then he turns back hearing you say his name.
Yeah.
If those two truly are staying, might not be a bad idea for them to pass their knowledge along as well.
What do you think, guys? You think you can pass on what you've learned today to the other soldiers? And they both nod.
Thank you.
Did I
Marstone.
see him look left?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at what he was maybe looking at.
Sure, make another perception check.
Oh! 22.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You look left and you see what he was looking at. There is somebody getting onto a horse quite a ways away. And for a 22, they look like they're adorned in similar armor to Gabriel.
Okay.
However, also with that roll being over 20, he's getting on top of a horse that doesn't look that native to Thrain.
Oh.
Because that horse looks like it was bred in Karnath. And that's where we're going to end the session today.
Oh.
So let's head on back, everybody, to this special thing, which is the camera. Everybody can move up a channel to the after show channel while I address the stream here for a bit, because something special is gonna happen. Music, meeting. All right, chat. Hello, everybody. Cabra, Jolly, everybody. Thanks for watching the stream today. Hope you enjoyed today's session, episode number 4, Heroes. And this little tidbit is for the audience. It's not for the players, it's for you. You get to know a little something extra than the players don't even know. Because the seemingly Templar of the Silver Flame gets on top of his dark-haired mane horse, hops on, and begins charging northward. Having surveyed and gathered information about what's going on at the keep over the last week or so, this soldier has now concluded and finished his reconnaissance and is heading back to someone very special who has needed information from the fort that the players are at that can't do it from legitimate means. And with that, I'll see you guys next Friday, as far as D&D goes, on the Mighty Dungeon, Eberron, for episode 5. Now, who else can't wait to have some dice rolled again? Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.